Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Today our topic is the story of Anonymous about determination. In 1883, a creative engineer and John Roebling was inspired by an idea to build a spectacular bridge connecting New York with the Long Island. However, the bridge building experts throughout the world thought that this was an impossible feat and told Roebling to forget the idea. It could not be done. It was not practical. It had never been done before. Roebling could not ignore the vision of the bridge he had in his mind. He thought about it all the times, and he knew deep in his mind, in his heart, that it could be done. He just had to share the dream with someone else. After much discussions and persuasions, he managed to convince Hazen Washington, a binding engineer, that the bridge in fact could be done. Working together for the first time, the father and son developed concept of how it could be accomplished and how the obstacles could be overcome. With great excitement and inspiration and the headiness of a wild challenge before them, they hired their crew and began to build their dream bridge. The project started well, but when it was only a few months underway, a tragic accident on the site took the life of John Roebling. Washington was injured and left with a certain amount of brain damages, which resulted in him not being able to walk, talk, or even move. We told him so. Crazy men and their crazy dreams. It's foolish to chase wild visions. Everyone had a negative comment to make and felt that the project should be scrapped, since the Roeblings were the only one who knew how the bridge could be built. In spite of his handicap, Washington was never discouraged and still had a burning desire to complete the bridge, and his mind was still as sharp as ever. He tried to inspire and pass on his enthusiasm to some of his friends, and they were too daunted by the task. As he lay on his bed in his hospital room with the sunlight streaming through the windows, a gentle breeze blew the flimsy white curtains apart, and he was able to see the sky and the tops of the trees outside for just a minute. It seemed that there was a message for him not to give up. Suddenly an idea hit him. All he could do was move one finger, and he decided to make the best use of it. By moving his finger, he slowly developed a code of communication with his wife. He touched his wife's arms with that finger, indicating to her that he wanted her to call the engineers again. Then he used the same method of tapping her arm to tell the engineers what to do. It seemed foolish, but the project was underway again. For 13 years, Washington tapped out his instruction with his finger on his wife's arms until the bridge was finally completed. Today, the spectacular Brooklyn Bridge stands in all its glory as a tribute to the triumph of one man's indomitable spirit and his determination not to be defeated by circumstances. It is also a tribute to engineers and their team's work, and to their faith in a man who was considered made by half the world. It stands too as a tangible monument to the love and devotion of his wife, who for 13 long years patiently decoded the message of her husband and told the engineers what to do. Perhaps this is one of the best examples of a never say die attitude that overcomes a terrible physical handicap and achieves an impossible goals. Thanks. Don't forget to subscribe my channel.